Okay, Aquarius, let me just take in these energies for you. 4 cards up here. Well, it looks like it was pretty clear with the 7 of Autumn and the give your relationship a chance. Like, you've been very patient, Aquarius. You've been really patient, and you've planted the seeds, and you've been working on your partnership, right? Not just your partnership with another, but how you partner. You've been doing that, and you've been working hard. Here we are, you're making progress. Slow and steady wins the race kind of energy. This could be an earth sign who's involved, possibly as well here. Someone who's just dependable, protective, chivalrous, humorous. But really the main feeling of this card that I have for you is that idea of slow and steady wins the race. Like, you've been waiting, you've been patient, you've been doing your work, and you've been working on your own partnering, because you want to give this relationship a chance, whatever that may be. For those of you who are single, it just means that you've been working on your own way of being with another, through the ways, through your patience, right? Through your sense of humor, as you kind of appreciate, like, wow, this is taking a long time, but rather than getting all caught up in fear and worry, hopefully, because the ego card is about fear and worry, you've been having more of a sense of humor about it. So let's just talk about this up here. All right, so we have this idea of being patient. You've planted the seeds. You're waiting for them you're waiting for your harvest to come in, your crops to come in, kind of thing. You're moving steady. You're paying attention to all the details. You're not rushing. You're taking your time, and then boom, ego. Right, ego comes in. Is like, I'm gonna get 2 more cards besides this 4 of winter here. So, but it's okay, because this is how I'm seeing it. I'm including the 4 of winter as a clarifying card for this ego energy here. And so this ego, I'll read you the text of the card, Aquarius. It says, the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. And I see here, as I look at this card, that there are 2 people involved here. So there could be some codependency as well going on here. But you're not in any rush about this, You're taking your time, because you're dealing with this pattern in a way that is very, very smart. You're seeing it, you're taking your time. You want to make sure that this ego pattern, however it plays out for you, Aquarius, is a general reading, that it's not going to take over your life, right? We have this 4 of winter energy, which is about, it's kind of made you like getting all caught up in fear and worry, and maybe worrying about another, and then worrying about you, or whatever. However it's playing out, it's a pattern of behavior, an energetic pattern that's at play during this time period. We're talking about a relatively short period of time here, Aquarius. And egoic patterns come up for all of us at different times, and they never go away. We just get better at recognizing them and working with them. Right? And so, but during this time period, it looks like with this ego coming in, it could just make you feel like, I need a rest. I can't deal with this. I just want to sleep and just deal with it later, kind of energy. But this is really more about rest and recuperation. It has a spiritual aspect to it. Could indicate going away on a trip, maybe alone or together. Then we have this Princess of Summer. You may be feeling extra sensitive around this ego energy. However it's playing out for you, it may just be that you're tired of waiting, for love, and you're sensing this true love coming in. It's worth waiting for, but you're just feeling you're giving into fear and anxiety, feeling really worried, and you're feeling extra sensitive. This is a beautiful energy of young love, like an energy of young love. And then we have the Chariot, which is about self-mastery, right, over the ego. Self-mastery through your own will and determination, taking a trip even, which could happen for many of you, because this can also indicate a trip, and this can also indicate travel, but also indicating forward momentum. This fairy has got these 2 dragonflies at the end of her reins here, and if you've ever seen dragonflies, they just zip all around all over the place. And so imagine trying to take control of them, but she's able to do so through her own will and determination. Another major arcana energy helping to mitigate this egoic energy, this major arcana ego energy. So that's really, really nice, because that means you however it's coming in, you're able to master it and take control of it. Really, really lovely. Okay, now I want to talk about these cards because they're super fun. Super fun energies down here. Okay, so we have give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. I've already talked about that, and how it really is relating to you. Taking the time necessary to allow your partner to work on his or herself, and also taking the time to work on the ways in which you partner with another, the way you love another, the way you are intimate with another. And then we have the true love card right in the center. I just love it. This is the romance of a lifetime. Whether or not you're with this person, because we have all this waiting energy, this kind of slow moving energy, whoever you're thinking of, whoever that person is, that is most likely the person who is a true love. And they're worth waiting for. This is why I say maybe you're not with them. It could be, because we have this ego issue, that it could be that you are with someone and they do have an addiction issue, and that's what's been worth waiting for them to kind of master and take control over that. Divine timing is at work in your love life, but it also can indicate that, fear and worry, because it's kind of slow moving energy. You might just be thinking, even if you're with someone, you might just be thinking, when are they going to get control of their life, kind of thing. But if you aren't with someone, it could just be, when's it going to happen for me, right? But it's, don't worry. Divine timing is at work in your love life. They're going to be worth waiting for, because we have this true love right in the center. It's so, so beautiful for you, Aquarius. This is the romance of a lifetime. It's happening. It is. It's going to. If it hasn't happened already, it will be happening for you. For you, Aquarius. But you're really being asked to have faith with this worth waiting for card, to take care of these ego patterns as they come in, and to work on your own partnering. If you want someone to be a certain way in love, are you being that way in love? Be fair. Look at yourself first before you go to another. Again, that kind of goes back to the ego. So it's always so satisfying in so many ways to be like, they're the problem. They need to get their life together. But really, you flip it around and go, okay, how can I get my life more together? How can I be more of a partner? How can I show this person how to love me by treating myself in the way that I would like to be treated? Kind of energy here. And then we have the Queen of Chalices down here. Again, it could be a water sign, not necessarily, but there is this beautiful energy, Aquarius, down here in the area of physical intimacy, of a connection with someone who's very nurturing, who's very kind and generous-hearted here. You just bury your head on their chest, regardless of male or female, and just feel safe and secure and heard, I think, and seen. It's really, really nice energy, and there's a lot of potential here for you to experience that in the area of physical intimacy. Even if you're single, it would go with this true love card so nicely here. I think I want to get, so I know those of you who follow are like, yes, it's an air sign. Okay, it may be an air sign. With clarifying this true love card here. So if that helps you, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but I know many people put a lot of stock in that. But regardless, not everything is as it seems, as with this as well. And huge message here, because the ego is all about fear and worry, and the moon's about letting go of fear and worry, trusting your intuition no matter what the external world is showing you, knowing what you know in your heart. If you know it's true love, you know it's true love, trust that. It doesn't mean that you wait around hopelessly like some sort of victim waiting for them to get their act together, if that's the case here. It just means that you don't need the confirmation from someone else, because you know yourself so well, and you know exactly what you know to be true and right for you, without having to explain it to anyone. But again, it doesn't mean that you are a victim to anyone. It just means that you trust yourself above and beyond anything that's happening in the external world. Okay, and then we have this idea of change, of clash, of a little bit of conflict around this true love, which may be why it's worth waiting for. Like things aren't settled yet. The 5 energy is all about instability, change. You're not beginning and you're not ending. You're kind of right in the middle. So there is, around this true love card, there's a lot of change energy, and that's probably why it's not really manifesting in the way that you want yet. But don't worry, it looks like it will eventually. And it may be, a lot of times when we feel stymied by something, when we feel like, why can't I manifest it? Why isn't it coming in the way that I intuitively know that it should? That's ego talk. A lot of times it doesn't come yet because it's kind of a sense of, I want to say protection, but not because you have to be afraid of anything, but your guides and angels are kind of holding you in a safety bubble, so to speak, till divine timing